is Wednesday, my dude.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fun Show Pod with Lila and Pat. Happy Wednesday. We're clearly a little rusty. We never should have taken Sunday off.
Cheers.
Cheers. How are you, my friend? I missed you.
It does feel like it's been a long time, and it's only been 5 days or so. But yeah, I don't know. I've been in attics working all week, so I'm happy to be here instead for sure.
I am happy to be here too. I can't believe we used to do one show a week.
We need like 2 a day to cover the news cycle now.
I mean, I was just saying to Pat that like on Friday and Saturday, I was going deep into crazy rabbit holes about beef jerky and sulfuric acid and, you know, shoots that go straight from a dungeon into an ocean and like the worst stuff ever. And then there's the Super Bowl, and that had a lot to offer. And then like every day, today, all day, there's this Pam Bondi stuff, but like there's just so much going on.
It's really wild that like our whole show, we could have just scrapped and done Pam Bondi today. I mean, it's really, there's like, that much. But if you turn on CNN, like they covered the Pam Bondi stuff, you know, live. Right. But then once it was over, they were done with it pretty much, right? And then they went back to the missing mom of the news reporter, you know, whose mom is missing. They're acting like she is our president kidnapped or something. Like the amount of news they're not covering to cover this missing mom.
Insane. It is insane. They never actually talk about the connection between Epstein and CIA and Mossad and UAE and like all they want to talk about is, and it's horrific, like, but you know, child rape and Trump.
Yeah. And to me, look, if you're going to cover this lady's mom who's missing nonstop, you know, I get it because it's related to a journalist that they know.
Right.
But for that to be on 24/7 and you have dropped the 1,200 people missing from Alligator Alcatraz, like that was a blip of a story that was on the air for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like that's the pressure you should keep on an administration until they answer for it. You know, I mean, if you're gonna do that for one old white lady, come on. I mean,
yeah. And if you do want to do that angle, why don't you talk about the fact that Savannah Guthrie was one of the first national reporters who interviewed victims of Jeffrey Epstein, in addition, obviously, to Julie K. Brown, who I think was like the first person with the Miami Herald who was like on the scene reporting. But if there is, you know, why would you think that this might be payback? That seems kind of crazy if that's what you're thinking. But if you do, then what does that mean? Bigger picture. Like they keep not wanting to connect all the dots of what Jeffrey Epstein represents with our most powerful people in the world, right?
Right. Because truly, if what we suspect, which is true, is that our whole government is owned by, you know, all these Mossad agents and enough people, there's enough dirt on enough people that Israel can pull strings in our government. That means you need to change this thing. Like this is not something you can vote your way out of. And that's why they're covering it all up. And it's just about the sex stuff.
Exactly. And then, well, we'll get into it when we get to the Super Bowl stuff, but there's interesting stuff about how they now have video footage for the possible kidnapper in the Nancy Guthrie case. You know what? All right, let's get into it. Okay, first, let's take care of a few notes from the front office. Please make sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. We really appreciate it. And also, it's fun. I'm seeing a lot of comments here. I try to tune in live to as many podcasts as possible, but that rarely happens. I usually catch the repeats. But I was watching Revolutionary Change on what's today, Wednesday, on Monday. And I saw a lot of you there whom I often see there, which is always fun, like families just, traveling across the interweb. So it's good to see all of you also again. Okay, taking this banner down, should we move right into our cheers and then get into all?
Of course.
Okay, so this, we're not doing a ton of ICE coverage today, but this woman down in Alhambra, which is south of Los Angeles. I don't know. I'm so bad with my geography here, but it's in Southern California, taking over her town hall, city council town hall.
As we discussed, that concludes the...
No. Everyone here today is here due to what's going on in Alhambra.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No. Everything else can wait.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everything else can wait. We are here regarding ICE. Everything else, it can be out of order. You must not know who I am. It can be out of order. You need to continue public comment. Your city council meeting can take up to 2 hours. We are here concerned about ICE, and we want public comment regarding ICE to continue. So change your agenda for the evening and move public comment now.
I'm sorry.
Now.
We have high school students here to speak on one of the items. I'm not going to ask them to stay here until midnight.
I'm sorry, who's here to speak?
We have high school students that are here to speak on an item, and I'm not going to let them stay until midnight to speak on another item.
I think these high school students understand that their lives are in danger right now and they can be murdered in the street by ICE. So I think those high school students are going to wait too.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to take a
5-minute break if that's what you need, but I want public comment to continue.
This is not how this is going to go.
That is how it's going to go. It's how it's going to go today. I don't care what any other city council meeting is like.
We'll be back.
Recess for 5 minutes.
God, I wish some of our representatives had that kind of fire in them.
Well, the rules person wouldn't approve of it. There's
parliamentary.
Robert Rules of Order.
Like that's the energy it takes. We're not doing procedures or norms or civility like that. We don't have time for that. That's what got us here.
Yeah. And I mean, to use the high school kids as a reason they can't do it, come on.
Which was probably the reason the high school kids were there anyway, right? Like a lot of them were getting arrested around the country as they were leaving, and in the most brutal ways. Like looking at the protesters in Australia with Herzog, Israel's President Herzog going there, they are just beating these people to bloody pulps, standing there peacefully, wearing a keffiyeh, down on the ground, hands behind his back, and like on him, and just the brutality to protect a genocide from peaceful protesters who, by the way, are doing nothing. I mean, like, I appreciate that they're doing it, but like, that's not actually a problem with your genocide. It's continued very nicely for 2.5 years, even with all the protests, right? So like, what is that? It's crazy.
Well, I mean, ultimately it's respect my authority, because you're going to all be so broke and homeless and replaced by robots and hungry, and we're ripping away the little safety net you have left, and you're going to get madder and madder, and that's why you got to just listen to authority.
Yeah.
Respect my authority.
Or we've got some big detention centers that we're building for.
They're everywhere. Your new mall was built by ICE Detention Center collaboration, or a collaboration with the Tech Bro data centers.
Yeah.
They're sponsored by Elon Musk.
Yeah. Anthropic, OpenAI. I mean, it's all okay. I'm sorry. I know I left it up there way too long. I just wanted to thank you. I see all your comments. You're very nice. Tell me that I'm right. I'll go home.
No, you left it up fishing for the she's right, and you didn't get one. So I'm going to have to remove the comment.
Humiliating.
You did not get a single one.
That's really sad. Well, I haven't really said much. Okay. I'll be right. Don't you worry.
You will.
All right, let's spin.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Right. We're already forgetting how we do our show.
Sure.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, the streak is back on. Okay, wait. I need to take it. Oh my goodness. Sorry. My eyes. I have to like readjust my eyes here. Okay. Close.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, heavy core. Got it.
So good.
Yay. One more time. Third time's a charm. It's gonna happen. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, baby.
That's what we need. Awesome.
All billionaires are bad. This one's not specifically billionaire, but it's kind of close enough. So here we go. Alec Penn is the cartoonist.
All right, I'm checking on the target. Target's visible. Waiting for the go-ahead. Jason. Wait a second. Jason Bourne. Are you in here? Yeah. There you are. Oh, hi, boss. Hey. Okay, so I got eyes on the target, and we're gonna get him. No. Don't worry about that shit. We got something new for you. A different mission? Yeah. This is your new thing. Here, take this. What is this? Just black out anything that says the president did molesting. Okay? What? I don't understand. Oh, and here's a list of rich people who Venmoed us enough to have us take the names off of the document for them. So do those two, please. Wait, no. Thanks, Jason. Hold on. This has to be some sort of mistake. I've been trained by the government to be able to survive in almost any conditions, and I know karate and jujitsu. Doesn't matter and I can use any object as a weapon to kill a man. Can you use a marker? What? Do you know how to use a marker? Like as a weapon to kill a man? No, like as a marker. Yeah. Then start hiding crimes, bro. Is it for America? What? Like, would I be helping my country? Yeah, sure, dude. Look, we also need you to start trolling Greta Thunberg on Twitter using various accounts. Various accounts? Yeah, like different Twitter accounts. Are those sort of like aliases? What? Like, are these different accounts kind of like secret identities? No. Could you please say that they are secret identities? What? That would be nice. No. It doesn't, you don't lose anything. Just say it. Just say that they're secret identities. Okay, yeah, go troll Greta Thunberg using several secret identities for America. Yeah, for America. On it, boss!
Once again, it's not even parody. It's exactly what's happening.
It's scripted straight from life.
Crazy shit. Oh, by the way, just gotta say... Oh, here's another one. I'm just... Look at Truth to Tweet. Thank you. Oh, all right. You're getting something here.
Wait a minute. Are these aliases? These are aliases. These are your secret aliases. The other ones were your secret aliases.
Okay.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers to all of you. Thank you.
To the news.
All right, to the news. Should we start with the Pam Bondi stuff just because it's...
Yeah, I think that's fair.
How the day started. So... they've been doing these, as we all know, this one enormous dump that they did, which was months beyond the deadline. And they
literal law written that they had to comply within 30 days. And it took them months to not do it.
Yeah. And it was only because, I have to say, like, Massey's not my guy, but like, he's been great on this. And so is Rokana, really just holding, they are using their microphones the way everybody should be using it about everything, right? Like, but they're using it about this. They're tying it to the general mistrust and disgust that most of America has with our politics, our leaders, and billionaires. But so much of it was redacted, except a lot of victims' names were not redacted and perpetrators' names were redacted. So why are you covering up for perpetrators? So they finally hauled Pam Bondi into this hearing, and she was very clearly just performing for Trump the whole time, right? Just a mess. But so this is Representative Becca Balint. I think she's Vermont, right? In one of their first confrontations.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once, when he was...
Weak sauce.
Also, I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning...
Oh,
is
Jewish. I just want to be clear.
Do
you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows that.
Can I get like 30 seconds back? You know.
Yeah, I've been.
Ballant took
I think
30
the whole.
What?
I was just going to quickly go to the next one that's also Becca Balint, and then we can talk about those two because it's
all
like
right.
the same moment. Is that all right?
I was hoping we had footage of her coming down and slapping the shit out of her. I want some hair pulling. I want some literal. Let's go high school here because that was actually a very serious moment. But largely, this whole thing was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Weak sauce. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I hate all of this. It feels like Jerry Springer. Like, I just hate it. I hate it. It's all just like sound bites and who's got the better burn, the sick burn, you know, it's and like, I don't want to wade into the waters of tone policing or decorum and all that, but like, it's more about, let's get to the actual laws that are broken and how we can hold you accountable. I don't need a sick burn, right?
That's the problem. And you know, if these were like party affiliated people, that's one thing, but these are our leaders in their only moment to question authority and the people in power, and you're using it for this silly little get a little sound clip out for my 2026 campaign, you know, kind of shit, which is what this all feels like.
100%. And because, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Sorry, but like in the midst of all of the euphemisms and code language, when I like, it does. I agree. Everything just feels disgusting. But yes, it is. This is all just for sound bites. Because, you know, as much as like her deflection of, well, why didn't Merrick Garland do anything instead of addressing the fact that she's being called up here, having lied to Congress. But that is right. Why didn't Merrick Garland do anything? Why didn't Biden do anything? Why didn't, like, that is all true. And we know why.
And that's why, like, I watched a lot of the hearing today, and at every point, you know, there were some good moments with Democrats challenging, why didn't you do this? You clearly have authority to do this, you know. Right. I mean, yes, but what was missing was accountability to come for it. Like, right. Hey, will you pledge to do this by this date?
Right.
You know, will you do this? Can we get you to agree to this? That's the only way you're going to change things, because she's just going to lie and deflect and, you know, mock your own record, because it was just such a pro MAGA poster. I mean, she looked ridiculous, but mostly America looked ridiculous.
Truly looks ridiculous when you see what's happening in the UK and the resignations. Like, we have there's no shame in our country. Nobody cares. In the middle of Me Too, you have Bill Clinton headlining the DNC convention, right? Like, nobody cares. There is no shame. And so it balances out or negates every horrific thing that Trump and Republicans do, because we've got our own version, or Democrats have their own versions on their side. So, you know, it's and
even with the framing of it as put forward by the Democrats, their solution is still just get some Democrats. Like, we're the good guys here, so but get some Democrats. Not hey, we're going to make them do this thing that actually helps these survivors over here. It's none of that. It's just, look, they're bad. We got them. 2026, baby.
Yeah. Can you imagine being a survivor, having come forward decades ago? Because we now know people coming forward in 96. And then, of course, through, you know, early 2000s. And to know that no one in power has your back in any real way. Like, I know we all know that, especially watching Palestinians document their own genocide, because the thought was, you know, like, one of the big lessons, and even when my kids were in grade school, you know, they had to do those like bearing witness projects. And so you could choose different horrible events in, or some good, but like, let's face it, in history, and what it means to bear witness, even if like you aren't there to, even if you can't save the day, what it means. Because then that, in our mind, what we've been taught is that when these crimes are documented, there will be consequences. It's the only reason that the Holocaust could happen in the 40s was because the world didn't know. And now the world knows, and it just continues. So this was
Oh, but it extends to ICE then next, and then from the president down. Yeah, you saw it, but you didn't see what you saw.
Yeah,
you know, it's just a big fucking lie. And what are you going to do about it? You got nothing.
Yeah,
you got nothing. You're not going to do anything about it.
You're powerless. Enjoy it, or go to that detention center because you're a domestic terrorist.
All right, let's keep going. I know you got one more clip, and I pulled a clip of just some silly moments just to show how absurd it was too.
Okay.
Was the president aware of Secretary Lutnick's ties to Epstein when he chose him to lead the Department of Commerce? Was he aware?
Chris Malin was a Border Patrol agent.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude that the president, in fact, did know about his ties because he was the next door neighbor.
Shame on you.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You're
this
from
is
a tiny,
pathetic.
beautiful
This is
state.
pathetic, Mr. Chair. I am not asking trick questions here. The American people have a right to know the answers to this. These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell.
But
that felt
maybe
like
she's fine. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it felt. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it felt like one of those, like, hey, you got your debate training. Call her secretary. She's gonna fight back. Right. And then you're gonna zing her. Zinger, got her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Did you want to show the 1 minute clip of just some of the other stuff so we can put? Then we have one more Ted Lieu clip.
Yeah. I mean, this clip just shows the absurdity, the magnus. You know, this was from, I think, Midas Touch pulled it, and I got it from him.
There was one redaction out of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician. I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history. And if they could maintain their composure. You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in
the rules. Obsessed with Donald Trump, you have Trump derangement syndrome. All of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump, you all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Trying to intimidate and punish these ladies.
Your time is up.
Forward.
To deflect to
the Dow.
to the Dow, as if that's a reflection of the public's economic wealth. The Dow is a reflection of how well people who already have money are doing, like a lot of money for the most part. So
but also
but the connection's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's not an appropriate response to you have all these child rapists perpetrating these crimes and nobody's but the Dow's high. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, even if we were all actually wealthy as hell, like, the whole point is that doesn't take away from the crime. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, and seeing this is supposed to be our top legal authority next to arguably the Supreme Court, and it's supposed to be separate from, this is the judicial branch. She's the head of the judicial branch, who, my mom was a judge, and judges are supposed to be impartial. And I don't care about norms, but like that part needs to remain part of the judicial system, is that judges don't openly advocate one way or another. And here she is, and then they deflected. The Republicans came up and interviewed her, and then every time they got her there, she was, every time there was a Republican interviewing her, she was trying to point out how the last administration went after Trump for this and that and the other. And,
right.
She brought up examples of that. Like, that's why we're going to do it now. Like,
Yeah.
And it is both sides. I mean, truly.
It is both sides, but like you can do that all day long. And I mean, Democrats do this too. They're all so excited about Trump. And now they're saying, we don't care, take down what's his face too, Clinton too. But like when we talked about it in 2015 and 2016, we were told to shut up and just vote for Hillary, right? So like now they can pretend that they care, but they're all
exactly
just hypocrites.
I mean, if Hillary was a true contender and still had power within the party, we wouldn't be able to talk about that. And it would be exactly as the Republicans want to portray the Democrats as like support. Oh, be careful, we got your guy. And then they would shut up. But now it's like nobody cares about that piece of it because fuck the Clintons. Everybody gets that now.
Yeah. They've done so much damage. Oh my God. We're not even getting into all the work that Ghislaine Maxwell did to help start the Clinton Global Foundation or Clinton Global Initiative. Like everybody is just so vomitous. I can barely. Prosecutor under the executive branch. That's right. Who is refusing to prosecute. Exactly. It's just horrifying. Just quickly so that we don't skip by them and to thank you guys. Pup guest. Oh, Kim Brown. Yeah, Burn It Down with Kim Brown. She's great. I was on a panel with her on Sabby's show years ago, and she's awesome. We will definitely have to reach out to her. She's fantastic. Thank you for your super chat. BDA, you're here live in person. We like it when you're here on the show. I wish I could laugh at this. I'm too far gone. Nothing more clever to say or better to feel. I know. I think we are all sharing that misery together. Thank you. And Citizen Vendejo, thank you. TDS, Trump's the GOAT. I'm the GOAT of AGs ever. Yeah, I mean, like even just to talk that way, the Trump derangement syndrome, it's, it is so, thank you, Vendejo. It's just, it debases all of this. And again, like, there's so many victims. There's like the first tier of victims who were actual physical victims of these horrific people. But again, like the media isn't even covering all the other stuff that was enabled by these, transfers of wealth away from our country, hiding billions of dollars in, foreign islands and doing deals to destabilize our country, other countries. Like, they are monsters. And this just feels like, a talk show.
And, well, it really is when, they've set it up to where Congress people can go into a room and on, I think 4 computers or something, and they can only go in for half an hour intervals or something like that.
Room or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And see the unredacted files. And when they talk to the people about what they look for in there, every time they come out with like, did Trump do this? Did Trump that? And it's all Trump shit. And it's like, that's not what we want to hear. We want to look up the case of those people behind you used as props in the room.
Yeah.
And follow their cases and dig in. That they're not about Trump. They're about the whole network of abuse.
Exactly. Exactly.
These people don't come out of those rooms and ever say anything about that stuff.
Yeah.
Which just shows you it's a political football for them.
Yeah. They'll just say, oh, Trump was there, his name was in there 1 million times. Okay. I mean, yes, like I believe he's a horrible person and that he raped people. I absolutely believe that. I believed it in 2015. And like, that is those girls who are now women, if they are still alive, deserve justice, which they will never really get. But to keep just making it about Trump is like what this has done and what, part of the reason that I think that Ro Khanna, and I do think he and Massey do talk about the victims. I even think, and I don't see Massey very much, but I think that there is even talk from Ro Khanna about the ties to Israel and Mossad. But like it's the bigger financial system. It's the impunity that these wealthy, powerful people enjoy as the rest of us, we're seeing people get their heads smashed in or arrested for a broken taillight. Or, oh, she bounced a check 20 years ago and now we're going to deport her. Like, and I just, it is really appalling. Like, I know we shouldn't be shocked anymore or surprised or whatever, but it just is so disgusting.
I mean, it really is. It's just like WikiLeaks. The news came out after WikiLeaks and said WikiLeaks was all about these sensational moments where, somebody said something about Clarence Thomas and somebody called Obama dumb or,
right.
Like that was all WikiLeaks was, a little bit of embarrassment on the Democrats because it really showed the institutional complicity of our media with the government. That was the whole
100%.
That was the lesson to learn there. And the lesson to learn from this, yes, all the sexual abuse, yes, all the people involved with it, but the bigger picture of why did all this happen? Why has our government covered it all up? Leads you to the real, large scale, like why our country is fucked moment, which is they got dirt on so many of our politicians that they bought their way into the system and we can't get them out of the system.
That's right. But they will never talk about that. Just like the journalists were never going to talk about the fact that they were all part of those Hampton visits with the Clintons in 2016. Like, not going to talk about that part for sure. Okay, so continuing with Epstein, we have this exchange with Ted Lieu.
It's done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaim my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock. Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
time. Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
I mean, her assistant attorney general, Todd Blanche, said case closed. We're not prosecuting anybody. There's not enough evidence anywhere.
Yeah, well, and the other thing that came out of this hearing, I don't know the timing if it was right after this, but she said, "Oh, we have investigations going," which is just like cover for say whatever you want. I could pretend it was in this investigation that's going on.
Yeah,
because there's no oversight to any of it.
Yeah, and I mean, yesterday or 2 days ago, Howard Lutnick, who had come up with that long story, I think we showed the clip a week ago or whatever, about how he met Epstein once and he and his wife, and she was so creepy, I think he said, that we decided then and there we're never seeing him again.
Can't be in the same room.
Yeah, and then
it was like a Mike Pence moment of I can't be around him alone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But then they bring their daughters, their nanny, to the fucking island. Like not even, they lived in the same neighborhood in Manhattan, but they go all the way to whatever, what's it called?
Epstein Island.
Epstein Island. Yeah, that's my problem. So there was also there's two more things just of people having to deal with responses. So Turning Points USA, after their beautiful halftime show, which we will get to a little later in the show. But I guess they also had like some kind of convention. They seem always to be having conventions. Laura Ingraham was there and asked them if they're satisfied with this investigation.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Those are his people. I mean, how many Charlie Kirks are they going to off before they realize they've got to do something?
I mean, they have lost Nick Fuentes so hard over the halftime show, mostly. Not any of these positions, not even the Epstein Island, but like when you've got Nick Fuentes, little white supremacist racist. Well, I guess I'll save that for our safe space talk around the Super Bowl stuff. But like, they're really losing their own core base. I was listening to NPR, like, I'm the idiot that does that.
That's your favorite. Yeah.
But they were talking about Trump is losing support among white Christians. And I mean, like, that's your last hanging on group, evangelicals. Like when they're down, you're massively down.
It's just, it's like when people are upset about what's happening in Gaza because it's horrifying. It's a Holocaust. It's atrocity after atrocity. But there is also, I think, the bigger connection that people are seeing that our representatives aren't responsive to our voices, that those same tactics are being brought back here. And this is the same thing with Epstein. It's like, yes, of course, like people are, I mean, the things that we're reading, we'll get into some of it, but like just the most violent, depraved, deranged people in the world. But also it connects everything. The impunity that our leaders get away with, the way they, the eugenicist attitudes of who deserves to be part of the club, the financial crimes. I mean, like all of it. And not a single one of any of those issues is being addressed by either party. I mean, it's crazy.
I think it is sort of each one of these moments builds on the last moment where they were ignored. The public was ignored. And, Palestine connects to people on an emotional level that supersedes your left-right position on some way, because you can only watch so many videos of dead babies unless you're really in an echo chamber that's really shielded from that stuff.
Right.
So once you emotionally connect to something, that has a potential to break through all of your bullshit that you've built up in your brain about left-right stuff.
Yeah.
And so if that just keeps happening, and then you're like, this is the last straw, Lutnick said he didn't hang out with Epstein. I can't trust Lutnick because he's in the files and here he is on the thing. So then that cracks a little opening that might open you up to the next thing where you have this thing and you're like, well, now I got to question all my beliefs. Maybe both sides are fucking full of shit, which is the outcome you should get to.
Right.
Get there.
Yeah. I think the idea that somebody lies flat out in your face like that that Lutnick came up with the story, and then clearly, like, we have the emails where he was with Epstein, years after that. The same with Donald Trump. We stopped talking years ago, decades ago. I kicked him out and never saw him again. And then we have 2017, 2018, he's having Christmas and Thanksgiving with him. Right. So like all of that stuff, it just feels, I think, Like, I think it really feels like hurtful and like a betrayal to people who are believers in MAGA. And that was the thing that Trump had with his MAGA crowd, was they were with him because they really thought he was with them.
Yeah. And it even extends, you know, that just reminded me of Peter Thiel on Rogan, you know, a MAGA friendly audience.
Right.
Right. Peter Thiel, Rogan's talking to him about the Epstein connections. And Peter Thiel's like, well, yeah, well, you know, we met a lot. And he's like, well, and Rogan tries to get him a soft landing on it. It's like, well, you know, yeah, but that was before he got it, you know, before you knew what happened to him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, no, it was after, but you know, but all those moments these people are watching, like Rogan's like, huh.
Yeah.
Like real time going, huh. I don't know, you know. So those moments are cracks where we get in and actually change people's minds on this shit.
I think so. I mean, I hope so. The moment that I think you were referring to before with the survivors standing behind Pam Bondi, and I think it was Rashida Tlaib who said, you know, have you called any single one of these victims in to talk to them about their story and what they went through so that you can proceed with your prosecutions? And she wouldn't even look. I mean, it's like a petulant little toddler. And so then Rashida Tlaib asks them to stand up if they're willing, and they do, and then raise your hand if you feel like you've been ignored by Trump's DOJ, and they all raise their hands.
I think it was even a little worse. I think they said if she refused to meet with you or something like that, like along those lines. Like it was not just like your opinion on the general response from the administration. It was like targeted to like
tried to meet with her and she rejected.
Yeah.
That's your top prosecutor. So just in case you thought that legacy media was not aware of all of these connections and the conspiracy, the class loyalty that these billionaires have, The Atlantic ran a piece. The Epstein files reveal that plenty of powerful people tolerated or participated in disgusting, shameful, and even criminal behavior. But they also bolster the case that there never was any grand conspiracy. What the fuck? Like, let's just talk about who owns The Atlantic right now.
Yeah.
That chick on the left in her bathing suit, giggling with Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh, and by the way, Laureen Powell, the widow of Steve Jobs, also is besties with Kamala Harris and infused her campaign with millions of dollars. So yeah, The Atlantic wants you to think there's no big conspiracy with all these rich people.
And hey, The Atlantic is also the one saying, you know, why a 70-hour work week is good for you as a person, and why
skip
it's
dinner.
Good for your immune system to get COVID 17,000 times.
There's no conspiracy. None at all. Okay. So speaking of, okay, and then obviously also Ghislaine Maxwell was seminal in the creation of the Clinton Global Initiative. And, you know, it's all so ugly. There was another, who was it who just put something out? It was some like online kind of paid DNC operative talking about, well, but Bill Clinton didn't even meet with Epstein after, you know, he was first arrested or after his first criminal indictment. Well, but okay, Maxwell came to his daughter's wedding in 2010. And then I don't know. I just like, they're all liars. They're disgusting and they do not care. They truly despise us. They just hate us. They don't care. If they think about us at all, it's with contempt.
Truly. And, you know, I'm thinking back to the hearings that I saw, and maybe I missed this, but did anybody grill Pam Bondi on why Ghislaine Maxwell moved to a fucking paradise prison? Like
with her own puppy?
That should be a massive investigation on who authorized it, and follow the chain of command on that, and you get to the whole thing, you know, at least in this current administration.
Yeah. Why is she in some fancy place where people charged with her, whatever her charges were, procuring children for, rape, are not supposed to be where she is. She is allowed to like exercise and go out. I think one of the guards was the person who was the whistleblower, because he was like, I'm like her servant, having to take care of her. Yeah, sorry, the warden. Oh, yeah. Sorry, wait, it was the warden. Saul, I saw you. Yes.
Yeah. But also, like, I'm really sick of people pretending this. Like, nobody's talking about Epstein, what he pled guilty to. He took a plea deal for soliciting prostitution with a minor. They kept the minor part out of it, but it was a minor. It was, and they had all this dirt on him because the plea deal also pardoned basically, or protected from prosecution, all the co-conspirators back in 2008 or
without conferring with the victims. You're not allowed to do that on the victim's behalf without consulting with them, the prosecutor.
Yeah, so every person that cozied up to him after that date is an absolute scumbag on every fucking level. I don't care if it was to make you $1 million on a stock tip, or how to shield your money from taxes. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean
that's who that guy was, and he agreed to that. His agreed to deal said he solicited prostitution,
right?
And everybody knew everything else. So like, you can't just let that go.
Anyway. I mean, that was the wily way that Dershowitz helped protect him, right? They chose one of the girls. They chose the oldest one. She was 17 and a half, and they called it prostitution. So they did that as a way to help him be able to rehabilitate his image when he left prison, which he was allowed to do, by the way, every day, even while he was in prison, was allowed to go out and conduct his business, whatever he was doing. But so that was the whole reason that Dershowitz chose the one. And that's why he talks about, 16 is consenting in some states. Like, so he was in a different state, but come on, other countries, 16. So then you've got prostitution, which it wasn't prostitution. It was raping trafficked girls.
Trafficking children.
Right. But so you call it prostitution. If true prostitution,
is a choice. It's an illegal choice.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, I don't think it should be illegal, but I also whatever. Yes. Listen, we all know that there's a lot of trauma in all of those stories, but I don't believe it should be. I certainly don't believe that prostitutes should be criminalized. But they weren't prostitutes. They were children being trafficked. They were being preyed upon and raped. Like, so that was Epstein helping his buddy get off on a much lesser charge of only one of the victims.
And why are co-conspirators included in his plea deal?
Yeah.
Like, this is unprecedented shit. You don't just, like, it's like a blanket pardon. Like, hey, Lila, you're getting off on this crime. Will you agree to get off on this crime that gets you and 20 other people off for the same crime?
Completely taking away the rights of those victims. The other thing, I need to look it up now, because seriously, like, there are so many different angles for all of this, there's a psychiatrist who did a whole thread on this called, or was she? No, she's a lawyer, not a psychiatrist. She consults with psychiatrists because she does these sorts of cases, talking about the way these documents were just dumped. They call it reptile theory. It's like a psychological warfare, because there's so much, and it hasn't been culled through and sorted and organized. So you could be like, these are his dealings with Ehud Barak. These are his dealings where he was raping children. This is where we think he was maybe doing biological warfare. This is where he was moving money, like, or some kind of organization, and to sort of be able to
I've worked,
put it together. Yeah.
I mean, in law, you can document dump, and just, we would have cases over something small, like somebody lying about, having an injury and going to work and then trying to gouge the insurance company, whatever. And you'd order documents, and you get like 70 boxes of documents.
Right.
And so now this case that's only worth $100,000, you've got 70,000 documents, and look, how much would it cost you to go through these documents?
Right.
So you've got your lowest paid employee doing the work,
right?
Because it's so, so yeah, that's just it's a method to hide the evidence.
Yeah. And also to kind of, I think also the way I think many of us feel about everything, just overwhelmed by all of the horror, right? Like you almost can't wrap your mind. It's just like, it's an assault on all of our sensitivities, right? Like it's too much. So,
it is, but they also,
yeah.
well, I'm sorry, but in that vein, I saw recently that somebody, because the way they produced it, to get to the videos and pictures and a lot of stuff, you would have to download this massive, like somebody simplified the procedure, and there's a site that has the videos and pictures, so you don't have to go through and pull that shit yourself if you want to look at it.
That's great. Sorry, my lights are falling. That is awesome. I know that if you go to
you can search the emails
drop site, yeah, you can like search each one, but I haven't done that. There are a couple where like, that's the other thing is like some of them are pictures that might have been sent in or allegations that maybe they even followed and weren't true. Like somebody posted a blacked out bar picture and it looks like, a slender girl with her underwear around her ankles, and another person who is completely against Epstein and has his or her own like threads on all of the different crimes was in a kind way responding and saying that's actually a porn star and it was from this movie. I did a reverse search. And so like, and then those people started getting bickering, and then people were like, oh, imagine doing a reverse image search. Why would you? It's like, because like there are true victims. We're not, I don't know. It just.
Yeah, for sure. And there, every person next to someone in a blacked out picture isn't a pedophile.
Right.
Right. And some of these people have nothing to do with Epstein as well. I mean, this is the reality. Like there's one picture of a guy with the blacked out picture and it's his wife.
Right. Except I think that was Brett Ratner who like.
Well, Ratner too. I think there was someone
Okay,
Ratner,
yeah.
But yes, I saw his. But like, we have to investigate, but we also can't just take their word on this stuff.
Yeah.
There are no crimes in this. And,
of course. Okay. Especially. So I need to look, because I think that the prosecutor in that 2008 case was somebody who was connected to either Trump or Epstein or Bill Barr or somebody before that in a social connection. And then he becomes the lead prosecutor for these victims. It just, all of it just feels so ugly and, really debased. So, okay, going to the conspiracy side of things. So this is one rabbit hole. One of the documents showed the announcement of Jeffrey Epstein's death, and it was the day before he actually was announced to die. That was Friday, August 9th, and he actually was dead and found in his cell on August 10th. So that started a whole bunch of rabbit hole digging for me. There was in the documents, heavily redacted, of course, a full description about the removal of Epstein's body from the prison where he was guarded, when whoever arrived at the hospital with case management coordinator, the person who was responsible for taking Epstein's fingerprints, COs, and somebody were with Epstein's body and had secured the scene. Why would a person who's on the scene be redacted? Like, what? Isn't that just an official at a prison? Why is that person redacted? Okay. Whoever.
It's like ICE. It's the, you're going to dox the guy. He's innocent, but you guys would all dox him.
I mean,
the public, that's
Jesus.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this is going to be their excuse.
So whoever that is, Black Bar, remained with COs, Black Bar and Black Bar, until the personnel from the Office of Chief Medical Examiner arrived to transport Epstein to their facility. Due to the large news media presence outside the MCC, a male OCME official called and said he would be arriving at the loading dock with a black vehicle. In order to thwart the media, 3 redactions used boxes and sheets to create what appeared to be a human body, which was put into the white OCME vehicle, which the press followed, allowing the black vehicle to depart unnoticed with Epstein's body. So a body double is what they're saying. So that's just kind of weird, I think. Why do you need that at that point? Like the media's there, like you're just going to the medical examiner, right? What's the problem?
Absolutely. And this guy's a villain. Like this is a newsworthy moment. Who was harmed by seeing his body being taken away?
But like that makes no sense, right?
Yeah, it's the cover up is the proof that this is conspiratorial every single time.
And they're saying that they didn't find the noose. How do you not find the noose? He was in a jail cell. We know that there were all these abnormalities with the camera. Pam Bondi said it goes off for a minute every night
to clear
every
the
night
cache or something.
So you've got this high profile sex criminal in a place where your camera goes out for a minute every day. And then the guards fall asleep. Oh, then there's an orange figure. Then when they install the new cameras, they delete everything off the old equipment.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot.
Well, and if you're Jeffrey Epstein and you're going to kill yourself, what are the odds you know the moment the camera's off to do it? You know, like how does that all connect to
why would you time that? Why?
Right? You wouldn't, right? You would.
Who the hell cares?
Well, let's assume he didn't know. And,
yeah.
you know, he's just a guy in prison. We're believing their story.
Right.
He just happens to hang himself at the time the cameras are off. Like it's.
I mean, it's a lot of issues happening there. So now this didn't help. Polymarket putting out 5% chance Epstein is confirmed alive because now there is no truth. It's only, you know, what we all bet on.
Sorry, but I saw some AI videos that prove he's alive.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like there have been some really, sort of clever AI videos that have popped up on my feed, which, you know, of course we wouldn't share, but, you know, that are really contemptuous of him and his whole group that are really well done. And mostly they all look like the people they're supposed to be representing. Like it's pretty convincing. And at this point, I think you could be convinced of just about anything. Then there was this whole thing about his username or his handle on Fortnite, which he was a big fan of. And that like that same username got to a certain level that was only released after his supposed date of death. And that person's still doing really well. And we know that he was working with like the Activision chief to try to make these things so your brain starts spinning out a little. Yeah,
it does. And this is where I spin out is not that like right away I'm like, oh, it's a conspiracy. I'm like, I see the footage of him in Israel, you know, allegedly, and I'm like, that's AI. Right away I go to all those things. But then the next step is we're at a post that phase of like, okay, the lie is going to be the conspiracy too, right? Because they can just tell us, well, we got the data on how Bitcoin works, and he didn't do that. We got the data on the threads thing that didn't work. You know, our AI says that that's fake. Well, your AI, you're controlling your AI, so that alone is not. So we are really at a post-truth phase as far as technology goes. We're trusting when people come out and say it couldn't be him on that thing because we have metadata. Well, who's got the metadata? You got the metadata. I don't have the metadata.
Yeah. And, you know, obviously, nobody trusts the government anymore with good reason because they're liars and they never pursued any of these cases really in the way they should. And they're all somehow involved in it, even if it's just because they run in the same circles with people who, you know, were actual perpetrators. So yeah, that all just feels scary because you start to want to believe everything. And then old videos come out and you're like, what? You know, like I had been convinced that Michael Jackson was a pedophile. And now I'm like, ooh, I'm not so sure. Like my whole structure has just been shattered and I have no idea of anything anymore. But the one thing I know for sure is that these people would kill their children if it meant that they could make one more dollar or have one more ounce of power. You don't bring your children to Epstein's island or invite him over when your daughter's having a sleepover if you are somebody who is not completely morally bankrupt, right?
Yeah, even if you're like going to protect your daughter, you you brought her to the location of a guy who pled a deal for soliciting prostitution, and you know the real story, you know the rumors about him, but if nothing else, he pled guilty to prostitution with a minor, or something. Like, that's enough to, like, I don't want my family related in any level near a guy like that. So
anybody who had been in any of his homes knew what he was actually up to. There was too much funky artwork and crazy shit all over the place. We saw the birthday book. They all knew exactly who he was. I don't think anybody could plead. If you are somebody who knew him well enough to request a visit on his island, you absolutely knew what he was doing to little boys and girls on that island. 100%.
Without a doubt. I'm just trying to, beyond a shadow of a doubt, say my position on this is clear. Any association with him post that plea.
Yes.
There's no, you're culpable, you're scumbag. Even Chomsky. Fuck you, Chomsky.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's like everybody knew this
guy. Absolutely agree. Oh my God, this woman, Hind Alois, was the UAE diplomat on the Committee of Human Rights, trying to work for him, trying to help him find young girls to be his assistant. And this is her in public.
But really, to build the case that investing in women is not just the right thing to do, but it's also the smart thing to do. It's a strategic choice that I would like to present to you in this conference. Investing.
Like, disgusting, right? Okay. This is really crazy and sad. I did not know about Trevor Moore. I think he was part of a comedy troupe, and apparently he fell off his balcony and died in 2021. But before that, he's talking about the COVID kill switch.
Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein, he was also obsessed with bioengineering. So he had all of these scientists that he would donate money to their charities, and he would have them work on things and stuff. But what I heard, and this is completely unsubstantiated, but I heard it and I thought it was fascinating, was that he also had these same guys, because they were disease specialists and everything like that. He had them design a novel coronavirus that was his kill switch. Basically, like, that was his trump card, which is like, I don't go to jail or I release this shit. And like, it's like one of these things where if I don't keep entering in a thing every 30 days, I die. In like October or November, his kill switch went off, and that's when the disease got introduced into the world until it became what we do today. I don't believe it.
I'm with you. I don't believe that for a second, but that's a goddamn great conspiracy theory.
I love it, and I'm going to spread it as much as I can.
But, I will say, like, I don't think that there has been accountability for how COVID was allowed to spread the way it was, why we aren't seemingly working on any kind of cure or effort to minimize the rate of infection, or like, so then you're like, I don't know what, like, they're doing these gain of function, creating different diseases. We know he wanted to like spread his seed all over the place. He was giving money to gynecologists at Ohio State, at UCLA. He's trying to figure out how you get babies to suck harder. Like, he did have, he's at MIT. They're trying to create some Ubermensch, right? Like, there's a lot going on. So that no longer even seems crazy to me, honestly.
Look, it seems crazy to me, and I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to question, like, if anything about power not being as evil as we think, we have to just let that go.
Yeah.
Because everybody worked with Epstein. Everybody in our government, up and down, from the guy who created the video game I play, who got tips on how to exploit kids for money to get more in-game money from kids.
Yep.
He's getting these tips from Epstein. Yep. Epstein brought the idea to him. You know, everywhere you go, there's Epstein connections. So anything is possible. And on the Corona stuff, we don't have Corona stuff tonight, but like, it's amazing that China they're close to a nasal vaccine that's going to be, I forget what you call it, but you know, when it actually gets rid of the virus, a sterilizing virus, unlike the other ones that just create some protection. This actually protects you from it.
Right.
You know, it's not just lessening the effects of it. And we're just not even studying it anymore. Our government is putting no money into this shit at all. Like, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we, at least, if you're going to just pretend life goes on as it is, shouldn't we still put money in getting it to where it doesn't harm people as much? It's the number one fucking killer of ICE agents. I mean, is that enough to get?
It's just a cold. It's just a cold. All right. Just to go back to the designer babies idea. He was talking with this Brian Bishop, the billionaire who wants to who's transhumanist. I don't know if he's the one who drinks his kids' blood, but you know, they're all like trying to live forever. And in this email, he says, so this is Brian Bishop, who is also a crypto guy and like a biohacker is how he talks about himself. Here's a deck about my designer baby project with a link. I've talked with Austin again, and we have a series of questions about how serious you are about wanting this and what the ground rules are for me even exploring this with you and getting to next steps. Most of these questions are around your requirements for secrecy and privacy, specifically regarding reputational risk and also any financial involvement. I think there would also need to be some understanding about goals and feasibility of different results. I think that one way that this could be done is under the banner of my designer babies project, since the other deliverable is similar and shares so many of the same procedures and lab requirements. This might offer a sufficient level of deniability. So people keep talking about the designer baby project, which sounds horrifying. Whatever Epstein had written him about is worse than that. Brian Bishop already has something set up that he has funding for, that he's been approved for, that which is his designer baby project. In this letter, he says, just to say it again, I think one way this could be done is under the banner of my designer babies project, since the other deliverable, in other words, the one you're asking about, is similar and shares so many of the same procedures and lab requirements. So my baby designer project would offer a sufficient level of deniability. We could do whatever the shit is you want to be doing under my crazy fucking designer baby eugenics experiment.
Yeah, and newsflash, idiots. When you put in an email, this might be covered for as deniability of my other projects. You just fucking sunk yourself, if anybody cared.
Like, what the fuck? Right? That's crazy. I mean, we know that there was a lot of talk about him wanting to spread his super seed to everybody, creating smart babies. There's a ton of white supremacy in, how do we make Black people smarter? Obviously, there was also, we keep wanting to do a show or at least a segment just on the Jewish supremacy, but how much better, smarter, chosen, yada, yada. Jewish people are, only certain kinds of Jewish people, by the way. They don't believe that about Mizrahi Jews. They don't believe it about Ethiopian Jews. They don't believe it about sometimes Orthodox Jews. Like, they have a very specific kind of super Jew, and it's just them. It's like, the billionaires of the world. So that's crazy. And also it was possibly taking place in a Ukrainian biolab. Also, that's one thing. And then this is Dr. Mark Tramo, who we were just referring to, who is still working at UCLA. They will not get rid of him. They're standing by him. But he is responding, saying, was just reading today that newborns will suck on a pacifier more vigorously if it triggers playback of a recording of her or his mother's voice than another woman's voice. That's interesting. Talking about baby sucking mechanism to a convicted child rapist. Then there's this.
Detached from Jeffrey Epstein, it's not vile.
Yeah, you're talking to
studying
parents of newborns. You might say that. Yeah.
Child psychology studies. But why Epstein?
Just a little tip for you. If before you steal the baby from the mother whom you're holding as a sex slave, get her voice on tape if you want that baby to suck harder. This is Ohio State. Convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein paid Ohio State University's head of gynecology quarterly payments of thousands of dollars. And OSU is where Les Wexner donates billions of dollars. It's also like a hub for his and he's another one of, finally, a co-conspirator, the Victoria's Secret empire, which is also where they had a small like private airport to fly in models from abroad for Victoria's Secret on private planes that Epstein got with some deal with the CIA that had been used for the Iran-Contra affair. Like, there's so much to talk about, and we're just going to ask how many times was Trump's name in the files?
Exactly. And the thing about Epstein is like to repair his status and to hold power still, basically after 2008, he splashed money everywhere. Like, so particularly to the educational institutions. This was a big thing. So research here, research there. But the gynecology thing is a little separate of that too, because it's like, what services are happening that you're advising his people on in that respect? And how could you, as a surgeon or whatever,
gynecologist,
take money from a guy who's involved in a kid sex stuff? Like, you knew that. So like that level of it, like, that's not beyond the pale. You can't say no to that money. That's the money you should say no to, like, with ease, if you're innocent.
Exactly. I am sure, listen, my grandfather was a OBGYN, and I think I've told the story before when I was waiting tables at Cheesecake Factory, and this woman came in with the New York accent. I asked where she was from. She's like, what do you mean? I'm from New York. And I was like, where? The Bronx. Where? It turned out my grandfather had delivered her. She called the restaurant the next day because we have my maiden name is unusual. And so, like, of course, there are great male gynecologists. We have had too many stories of male gynecologists who are serial rapists and sex assault perpetrators, including for the Olympic team, U.S. Olympic team. So it doesn't surprise me, but I am just revolted. M. Sparks, thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Salute. Should we spin before we move on, or do you have anything else to say?
Yeah.
Oop.
Oh, I have my radical feminist Hamas stuff from last week.
I love that. That's good. You changed it.
I forgot. I changed it last show. I don't think anyone noticed, but
yeah, I don't really pay attention to you.
Lala's right.
I'm
right.
Joking. All right. Anything else? There's so much more. We didn't get into all the food stuff the dentist and the food, like, that's a whole other show. These people, they have so much time on their hands and so much money. They don't know what to do with it. And so they can just think up more evil ways of desecrating humanity. Like, I don't know.
No, it's all an inside joke of the rich. It reminds me of that Eddie Murphy movie where the whole thing was about a dollar bet. You know, if you
Trading
could make the
Places.
poor guy up. Yeah, Trading Places. It's all like they don't care.
Yeah,
like it's just yeah. Why did you release COVID into the world? $1. It was a bet.
Yeah.
Somebody bet.
What's Polymarket say? Kalshi? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure that we don't miss anything before we spin. Okay. Are you good if we spin?
Yes, absolutely spin.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I need more wine. Here we go.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Put it on
I
can't
Lila. Wait for this, but also
you forgot to put it on screen. Or is it just not on my screen?
What?
Because it says remove here. Oh, it's not showing on my screen.
What are you talking about?
The wheel didn't show on my screen. It's a StreamYard thing. StreamYard.
Really? Did you?
Yeah, I can hit the remove button now. I'm just saying it's StreamYard. StreamYard's fucked. What did we land on?
The run says that also. We landed on inject. That's so weird.
Let's spin the wheel again.
Okay. We did not get the full experience. Add to stage.
There it is. I see it.
That's so funny. All right, 1 second.
Yeah, baby.
That worked out really well. I was gonna do it anyway. Okay, wait 1 second. Let me close and
Yeah, baby.
Ooh, do you have another ABAB?
We do not, so let's just go with inject, like we landed on the first time, apparently.
All right.
I don't know where our music to that went, but oh well.
What is it like to be an agent of ice? A Gestapo thug and professional abuser. You can hide behind the mask, but you cannot hide the fact. You're a domestic terrorist and unfuckable incel loser. That is what it's guaranteed. That you rot in hell for your rotten deeds. You feel real big right now, but we promise we'll bring the heat till you're abolish. Fuck you, ICE. You're a puppet and we would know. Fuck you, ICE. But only fascists like yours, so fuck you, ICE.
That was awesome, but no music.
I don't know what happened to music.
I think
I'm gonna blame StreamYard again.
Yeah, seriously. And also it seems like nobody saw the wheel the first time. So I don't know. StreamYard.
That was
weird. Okay, let's start with the Olympics because that started what, last Thursday or something? Is that right? I don't know.
I normally love the Olympics and follow it all. We're the bad guys. So like I don't want to root for us there. Not that I ever did just root for us, but like
it's really hard. But the nice thing is they don't want to root for us either. So this is JD Vance showing up. So he got booed. The other group that got booed, they got booed, obviously. Which puts US athletes in a strange spot because, there is something so beautiful about the Olympics in theory that it brings all these different countries together and people who've been training their whole lives and are, the top tier of that sport. And, the fact that Israel is there at all is reprehensible. Russia was kicked out like the day.
From the Olympics.
Yeah. And Israel's still there. Everybody hates them. And everybody hates America too, because we're doing the genocide along with Israel. And then plus it's very clear that, we're threatening all of our allies. We're just, even more than we normally do. We are just the biggest bullies on the block. Like, and even the soft power of our entertainment isn't living up to what it used to anymore. So like, there's nothing.
No, and the whole Olympics is all about like dropping the politics and like these are the people of the world together. That's like the beauty of it. Although I don't mind politics being in there, you know.
Sure.
But seeing our two countries booed makes me want to hate watch it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because we are the evil empires of the world, and we're literally trying to break every union that the US has with these other countries as we speak, as we put this on. And this isn't in the US, obviously, but the next Olympics, the Summer Olympics, is in LA in 2 years. I mean, I just cannot imagine that event and what it's going to be like, because
who would come here?
We are literally fuck the world. If you come here, you better have your goddamn passport in hand or you're getting detained. And even if you do, we might throw it on the ground and detain you for a week, because these guys all make money off of that. And the detention people make money, and the hotel makes money, and all the people that have to travel you make money. And if we have to deport you, we're gonna make money off that. So don't come here.
It's like
we
a fresh
hate your kind.
Fresh shipment of meat, honestly. Like, I would not come to the United States. Absolutely, right? Because it's not just happening. I mean, it is predominantly Black and brown people, but it's happening to Irish people. It's happening to, there were some German visitors to Hawaii last year who were like, it's really, you know, your social media. They're going to go through all of your social media now. I mean, do not come.
Coming off of the Super Bowl, where our whole president and the whole Republican Party is like, we hate these brown people.
Yeah.
Like
we're
publicly.
Exactly. All right. So here are some of the participants, U.S. athletes. This is Chloe Kim.
My parents being immigrants, this one definitely hits pretty close to home. And I think in moments like these, it is really important for us to unite and kind of stand up for one another, for all that's going on. And I think that I'm really proud to represent the United States. The U.S. has given my family and I so much opportunity, but I also think that we are allowed to voice our opinions on what's going on, and I think that we need to lead with love and compassion, and I would love to see some more of that. Obviously, my parents...
Okay, so that was lovely and
very benign.
Totally benign. These are freestyle skiers Chris Lillis and Hunter Hess, who seems to be the main recipient of the vitriol from the MAGA crowd.
Because he's white.
I feel heartbroken about what's happened in the United States when, I'm pretty sure you're referencing ICE and some of the protests and things like that. I think that as a country, we need to focus on respecting everybody's rights and making sure that we're treating our citizens as well as anybody with love and respect. And I hope that when people look at athletes compete in the Olympics, they realize that that's the America that we're trying to represent.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
Kudos to them.
Yeah, totally. And here's Donald Trump, such a little cry bully. U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess, a real loser, says he doesn't represent his country in the current Winter Olympics. If that's the case, he shouldn't have tried out for the team, and it's too bad he's on it. Very hard to root for someone like this. Make America great again. The President of the United States singling out one of his citizens who's competing in the Olympics, doing one of the few things that makes America special, which is supposed to be that we are allowed to protest and have the patriotism that you need to want to call your country out when it's, some people just leave. I think it's actually really patriotic to call your country out on its criminal behavior and try to force it to be its best self.
Yeah, and there's a couple angles on the from a personal perspective, these Olympic athletes are probably well versed, especially the ones that can make a lot of money because they're high profile on, hey, keep the politics down. Let's keep you neutral so you can sell some, Cheetos or, the whatever.
Yeah.
Cereal boxes,
Oreos or Chex or Wheaties. Yeah.
Yeah. Wheaties. That's what I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of the goddamn name.
Lila was.
But they have the courage to just say it. They don't care. B, they also know that the country's behind them. They're not outliers. Show me the person on stage who's like, I'm so proud to be American right now. Like that brings up something MAGA. Now they'll have a niche group of support and they'll be heroes in the MAGA world, but they're not doing it because they know the country is going to put them on a fucking shit list.
Yeah.
So you're not getting anyone backing this stuff. You're not getting anyone saying it's so great to be here with Israel.
You certainly aren't. There was a lot of anger. I guess this one actually broke my heart. Not that I even know who this guy really is, but I loved the movie Miracle. Do you know that one about the ice hockey team? And it's actually, I mean, it was a great, really good movie. Yeah, with
yes,
Snake from Kurt Russell. Yeah, he played the coach. Anyway, he calls out Hunter Hess, saying Hunter Hess, U.S. snowboarder, saying he doesn't represent his country but his family and friends. Then don't put on the USA uniform. Maybe just put for family and friends. Some athletes just don't get it. Rah rah. There was another thing where Lindsey Vaughn, and I don't know if this was as a response or tied to all of the uproar, but just saying how proud she was to be representing America. It might be because it's her last time and she had just, she had a torn ACL, COVID. Anyway, so she was saying how proud she was. Then, of course, let's not forget what she said in 2017 when she was there. U.S. skier Lindsey Vaughn, I hope to represent the people of the United States, not the president. And that was when Trump was president. And then Benny Johnson, known for his love of Black people in the United States and around the world, says that this athlete, oh my God, what's her first name? I can't see it in this. Sorry. I don't know her first name. Mensa Stock is the perfect model of how Olympic athletes should represent America on the world stage. No woke garbage, just pure pride. I mean, this was from 2020. I love representing the U.S. I freaking love living there. I love it. I'm so happy I get to represent the U.S. So nobody should speak his or her mind or fight for a better world. Shut up and take it. That's the U.S. of A. Thank you, Saul. Tamira.
Yeah, we have stuff on our screen during the show that you guys can't see that's blocking it. So that little corner is blocked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, we always criticize, China as, the people can't speak their minds and whatnot. Right. And here we are on the national stage and we're like, we hate all those people. They're not Americans.
I mean, it is so insane. And to act like politics isn't part of everything. Like, I see Jezen saying a thing about, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, and that's too political. But all of the army military shit that happens at every game, having to stand and sing the national anthem, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Political. It's all political.
Yeah, of course. And look, all the president is really doing by highlighting these guys is helping them in the long run. Like short term, they might not get a commercial gig or something.
Right.
Maybe too risky, but are these the top people anyway? So I don't know. I don't really follow it enough to know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Look, the people are behind him. Like I never would have known who this kid was until you brought him up. So now I know. And now whatever he does, I'm behind.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah. Because it is a travesty not to speak up against your country when it is committing these crimes against humanity. Which, it's the thing that I say all the time that, Jews, anti-Zionist Jews have a special responsibility to speak out against this genocide and the apartheid state of Israel. Like, it is incumbent upon Jews around the world to say that they are not doing this in our name, and that is not representative. And when you leave the country as an American, you do the same thing. Yeah, sorry.
Particularly as an American now, when most of the country doesn't support what's happening in this country. Like, your people are behind you when you get out there. And we want to be able to travel the world and not be hated for the policies of Trump and this administration on both parties. But like, you know, we don't support the genocide in Israel. Like, that would be my number one thing. Hey, I'm American. I don't support. That would be the first thing I would bring up. Too. And then I would bring up ICE. Those two things would be the top of my list.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Okay. Olympics. I think that's all we have on the Olympics. Should we spin and move on to the Super Bowl?
We should, because we've underspun.
You're right. All right. Is this on the screen?
Yep. I see.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. I knew it. Awesome.
So much fun.
Okay. Wait 1 second. I actually had one more thing about Olympics that I wanted to show, but.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, all right. Twist my arm. Oh my God.
You know, this week I was working in a weed shop all day.
Really? Oh yeah, I saw your
all
picture.
day around like a million like beautiful. I don't smoke anymore, but I remember what it was like to smoke the stuff that I was in the room with.
Right.
It was just. Yeah. And then I went afterwards and picked up some tacos at a taco place. And I forgot how much I probably stunk, and people were staring at me. And I'm like, oh, I smell like I've been just.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm sure you did. That's so funny.
Totally. Because my clothes, I smelled them today too.
Yeah.
Like, oof. Wow.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
All right. That's what we need. Some good music. All right.
What do we got? Jody Jones. Here we go. Why is there no audio?
I think there's something with your rap, because that's not my rap. My rap has the
Don't talk to me about bootstraps when I ain't got no shoes. This one I might be barefoot, but I got more soul than you. Don't talk to me about worries when you got the rich man's blues. Haunted by the money that you can't take to your tomb. I've rarely seen a penny of the wealth that I have earned. I like my way to freedom with the bridges I have burned. I don't know how to change the world, but God, I want to learn. While rich folks laugh and drink and say it's none of our concern. If it takes a worried man to sing a worried song, I know that I'll be singing till the day I'm dead and gone. Your American dream means nothing to me, while every day the city gets closer to the sea.
That's awesome.
Jody
I love
Jones.
that. Jody Jones.
Jody Jones, and she's got like, it's very folky mostly, but it's not all as folky as that was. But I love, like, personally, the folk style when it comes to revolutionary music. I don't know, there's something about it. It just fits, especially coming from white people now. Like, not that we should focus on that, but like, it's just like like, this isn't our genre.
Yeah.
Like, this hat, I don't wear camel hats. I don't.
Right.
Like, we're trying to expand our message. And
yeah, I agree.
like
Also, as an older person, I like being able to understand the words that are being sung. It does, like, I like that.
Oh, so you're gonna bring up the Super Bowl? Is that where we're?
That was my transition. Do you like it? Okay, so wait, before we get there, I just wanted to oh my gosh. Okay, something is going on. My whole screen just frizzled. Okay, a couple things just about the U.S. So this was Gus Kenworthy, who actually I think is a U.S. citizen, but switched over. He's a skier, switched over to the UK team. I didn't know you could do that. I actually do think it's kind of weird that U.S. citizens can play for another country. I don't know. That, like, to me, that's a little weird. Whatever. I don't have like a huge, but like the whole Israeli baseball team is U.S. born citizens.
Pox on their houses.
Yeah, truly.
Like for real.
So here he is protesting in his own way, Gus Kenworthy with his P, fuck ICE. That's some incredible skill and aim. He can stand to pee in my house anytime. He's the one.
That's literally impossible, but I love that
I
he
know
put it out
it's
there.
totally impossible. Well, I mean, you have to hold it. You have to just like stop and start. You have to stop and start a lot.
And he's got to be a lot bigger than I am to get down to the snow and stop that close.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Maybe he did it on his knees and then stood up with his skis.
We can talk about this for hours.
Yeah, we could really. I want to dissect all of this. And this was shout out to the U.S. Olympic team who want to keep their bodies healthy and compete at the highest level, wearing N95 masks indoors. Love to see that. Not just a cold, folks.
Absolutely. And look, people are pretending like, oh, it was just one group. Every Olympic team has got some people in masks. There's tons of these pictures out there.
Yeah. And like there was somebody saying that, you know, I think it's a female athlete that her husband was coming to visit. It might have been a male saying his wife, but anyway, and they would only see each other outside. He was not going to be indoors with her maskless. Like that wasn't happening. This is your moment. Like this is your moment to shine. And you've been working so hard. You're not going to fuck it up. So, you know, important for people who know that everybody in power is corrupt, lying, eugenicists, but somehow still believe that COVID is just a cold. They're crazy. Then this is
well, no, just on this front, professional athletes, you don't see them masking a lot, right? But they're also absolutely rich as fuck. They're not Olympic athletes that are moving up, and this is their one moment. You know, so this could ruin their moment. Period. They don't have the money. They may have Olympic care, healthcare, but their whole future is over if they get COVID. Period. End of story. Because it is for the pros too, but they already have their bags.
Yeah, they already have their endorsement deals and all that kind of stuff. The way to get an endorsement deal, if you are an Olympic athlete, is to win, and then you get your deals. Yeah, it's because they're not paid a lot at all until that happens. So yes, 100% that matters. This I thought was really interesting. I mean, I know we all know this, but the Olympics in 2028 are supposed to be here in Los Angeles, and there's a huge outcry because, of course, billions of dollars will go into the structures that will house the tourists, whoever they are, that would be coming, and all the athletes and all of the different attractions. They will do homeless sweeps. They will, decimate whole areas of the city just to make space for this one-off event, and then everybody leaves, and that investment in the city isn't really usable for the citizens of the city after that one moment. And of course the tickets are all going to be so expensive that it's not really for regular people to go attend stuff happening at the Olympics. So there's a lot of outcry. Also, the guy who's the head of the Olympic Commission here, Casey somebody, of course was friends with Epstein and was on his plane and did all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of pressure to remove him. But the other part about it is the focus on safety and making sure that any threat is, extinguished before it even happens. And so this was somebody talking, his name is Jules Boykoff, talking on Democracy Now! about how the Olympics, just like everything else, is used to expand the surveillance state and policing.
The Olympics have become a place to test new Olympics security measures that then stay in place after the Olympic Games. So in Paris, for example, they used AI-powered video surveillance. They say it's just for the Olympics, but extended well beyond the Olympics. And now in France, they're trying to extend it even further because they're hosting the 2030 Games. In Italy, it allows for the intrusion of military on the streets and in the skies. It allows for new forms of cybersecurity to be tested and surveillance drones that are purchased and aren't put back in the box when the games are over. They stay and they become part of normalized policing in the wake of the games. And that's what has a lot of people in Italy quite concerned.
Never waste a good opportunity.
And you've already got LA, which is the spending there is like, I don't know, what is the number anymore? Like the 8th biggest police force in the world,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like compared
Yeah,
to
yeah,
armies and militaries.
Yeah.
So you're going to give them how much more money? You know,
With
it's
masked
absurd.
hooligans. Yeah. It's absurd. But that is exactly what's happening. You know, we cut the cord on our cable about, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago. And for the most part, it's not a big deal. But when there's a live event, you know, and then I realized that one of our smart TVs has NBC, and they were talking about, it was right before the Super Bowl, and it was all about the security, and it's going to be really safe, and all the different cops and the cop cars were all around the outside, and we're sending a signal, and nobody, you know, it's like no one's going to come here and cause trouble. Like, has it always been like that, or it's a security state? I mean, like, I know, you know, sometimes you have to go through a metal detector, or they check your bag. Like, okay, but like, just cops everywhere. And now you can't bring a purse into any stadium anymore, basically. It has to be like this big and see-through, which I don't even understand, because they put their hands through my whole purse every time anyway. Like, I don't understand any of it. It's grotesque. That's not how I want to live. And also, I don't think we need to be that scared. And to the extent that we do, it's because we are causing people to hate us. Don't commit genocide. Don't put sanctions on every country and, you know, cause the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people every year because they're not bending to your exact will or handing over oil or whatever. Like, people hate us.
And look, honestly, at the pace we're at and the pace that the public in these other countries are turning, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these countries choose to boycott the Olympics themselves by 2028.
I agree.
And that's going to be really telling on the world stage that we're that openly
It'll be us and
despised.
Israel. It'll be us and our citizens who play for Israel playing against each other.
Yeah, well, the good news is then you'll get some cheap tickets in LA if you want to go to the Olympics, because they need to fill some stands to get some photo ops.
Yeah,
because
intramural sports or whatever. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. There was I mean, listen, everybody's just trying to make some kind of statement because we're all feeling so powerless, but this was right outside. No, that's not true. This was in Vegas, but it was like before the Super Bowl. So that's how it was connected. Listen, I'm all for public shaming wherever and whenever.
100%. And look, I love that it's bipartisan. That's put Bill Clinton's name on everything you do.
And Bill Gates.
This is why the King's marches and all that shit, it's just about Trump. That's useless as fuck.
Yeah.
Don't give me another no Kings rally. Like, you had two were opportunities to kind of pull people left a little bit.
Yeah.
If you have a third one and you're still not expanding it to any sort of call for action, Like you should protest the No Kings rally at this point.
Yeah, exactly. They have one, what, March 28th or something? Things are happening right now, but we're gonna, I mean, I know like there has to be some planning, but you know, for God's sakes. Yeah. And that they like the organizers, you know, I know that there were pro-Palestinian protesters at a lot of No Kings rallies across the country, but specifically they were asked by the organizers not to mention Palestine, not to wear keffiyehs, right? So like that's okay, so there were two aspects to the Super Bowl apart from the game being played. Did you watch it?
I'm embarrassed to say I actually watched it.
I did too.
I don't know. I don't like football anymore, but it was such a moment that I felt like it was like watching, like I couldn't miss it because it's almost like the debate. And I hate the Patriots. I hate a team that has been openly caught cheating and there's no punishment for them. Like that's so American. And they are the Patriots. They are the red, white, and blue, caught cheating left and right. And we're just going to keep cheating. And
caught cheating left and right. Their owner, like Robert Kraft is the owner, right?
Kraft, yep.
Yeah.
Totally tied into the pedophiles.
Tied into the pedophiles, tied into the crushing of kids protesting at Columbia, because he's a huge donor to Columbia, like pulled back money or like threatened to pull back his $100 million, whatever. Yeah, they shouldn't, like, there were no repercussions. What happened? Stealing signs, Deflategate, all of that, nothing. Bill Belichick's girlfriend, like this is, Jordan Hudson wore the t-shirt of the massage parlor down in Florida that was trafficking women, where Kraft was arrested for soliciting prostitution of trafficked women. But anyway, and then used Epstein's lawyer to get off. So obviously
I'm just saying, like, if we had beheaded a billionaire by now, you might not wear that shirt. Just saying.
I mean, obviously she's doing it to needle him.
It's not funny.
But it's not funny. Like, that is not funny. If you want, like, rapists should go to jail, people who traffic women who, are like, just like, have been destroyed by poverty that we have helped enable, those people should be beheaded or whatever. Like, wear a fucking guillotine shirt. But it's like all this, it's like sick burn. Anyway.
Obviously the halftime show is why we watch.
Yes. Okay. So there was an explainer. It's like 3 minutes. I don't know if you want to watch it, but I thought it was really interesting because there were some things where I was like, oh my gosh, first of all, I don't know any of Bad Bunny songs. And I usually can't even understand English or songs that are in English. So like, I really have a hard time understanding in a foreign language, which is fine, but like, I didn't know any of it. So to me, it just looked like a love fest with, like, obviously the Puerto Rican flag, the shout out to all the countries in the Americas, the like very like rooted in working class stuff, all of that I thought was really awesome. What did you think?
I loved the whole thing.
Yeah.
Look, in defense, when something's not in English, I get how that automatically triggers people's xenophobia for a lot of people. Right. That's why it was such an easy issue for these people to take on. But the whole moment was about the joy of a guy sharing cultural stuff, and not understanding was the point. It wasn't to cater to you. It was just like, look, this is all good stuff. This is all fun and happy stuff.
Yeah.
Even though he brought in some political moments with the electoral,
right,
for example.
Yeah.
But it was the joy. It was like, how can you hate this? Look at these people. Look, you like the taco stand, and conservatives made fun of it. Like, oh, you're showing a taco stand. We're supposed to think you're doctors and engineers and you're all just taco stand people. No, it was like catering to you. Like, look at the joy that we bring to you with all this.
Yes. And he had, he had a taco stand chef from Los Angeles. He had a woman from New York who is like, I think it's in Greenpoint, but like I think it's Williamsburg. Anyway, who, is like an institution with her restaurant. Like, he brought in so much love. He had a couple that actually got married. He had a little boy that I think, I don't know for sure, but was supposed to represent that little boy, Liam, who had, been kidnapped in Minneapolis and taken to the Texas detention center. Like, of course it was political, but everything's fucking political. So, and then also the thing of like, first of all, not an American citizen. That's ridiculous. As we all know, they're just so wildly ignorant that they don't know. Meanwhile, by the way, I think Puerto Rico would love to have its own liberation and self-determination away from the United States. So like, figure out which side of this you want to
punish.
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans have been punished for being American.
Yeah.
For, they've been American for 150 years or something. I don't know. Quote me on the number, but like for ages, like it wasn't like 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, 100 plus years, they've been an American
territory, not
republic,
allowed
territory.
to vote,
Yeah.
colonialized. They would love to have their independence. They're not even allowed to fly their actual flag with the light blue, which he brought out. They had to do a more American version, like
1889. Yeah,
Jasmine with the facts. Look at you. But there was outrage, and this is why, like, I just think it's so important that if a person on the right, and there is a difference, like there is a left and a right, and the difference is in how we view other humans and a dignified life and an economic system. There are actual concrete differences. Just because Megyn Kelly happens to now find herself saying she doesn't think that Israel should be slaughtering children, she's not one of the good ones at all. This is her on Piers Morgan.
I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language, officially, the national language of the United States of America?
English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out, that people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so
you're
trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Come on.
I'm sorry, Piers, but
that sounds so long. Can you imagine saying those words out loud in public? Racist as all fuck. What?
Let's just start with let's go way back. Where did our language here come from anyway? Another fucking country. It came from England, right? America didn't invent English. So like even that, like just at the base, like Do you have no logic left in you? And is everything got to be for everybody? It's just a fucking halftime show.
I mean, the outrage, just because he said abolish ICE at the Grammys. That's why they really hate him.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
Like,
he's brown. That's the real reason.
Yeah. And he speaks Spanish. Yeah. But like, just, she's disgraceful. There are so many other people who you can find who align with us on Palestine and Israel, which she barely does, by the way. That lady is not your hero at all. But so that crowd was so upset that they threw their own halftime show, which just was so embarrassing. This was their hype reel the day before.
Kid Rock halftime show, ready to go. Kid, how you feeling?
Man, it's been a lot of preparation, a lot of work. I could use a little advice or something just how to get my energy level up. But
yeah, I got a guy for that.
Yeah, you should read the new flute there. There you go.
Let's go. Super Bowl halftime show featuring Kid Rock.
Disgusting.
Was that last? I thought for a second because I looked down.
That was last week.
Right? No, yes.
Oh.
I thought going up the stairs, that last shot, I had assumed it was Trump, but then the thing hits him, so it's Biden falling down the stairs, but it looked just like Trump. I don't want to have to watch it again. Whatever. Anyway, such an embarrassment. Not only were the screens at Mar-a-Lago on the actual Bad Bunny halftime show, they didn't even watch their own, TPUSA, but Kid Rock lip synced through the whole thing. And, listen, everybody who does live performances has a backup track. They all do. Like, they do. It doesn't mean they don't try to lip sync really well and, do a good job, but they all do have that. Kid Rock did not try to line up at all. This is a very short clip, but just look at his mouth.
And this is for the questions that don't have any answers. Midnight lancers and the topless dancers. The game freeze the cars back with speakers. The G's with the 40s and the chicks with beepers.
It's amazing how even when his microphone's not by his face, it's still, you can hear it through the whole arena.
The best part of the Kid Rock stuff is him saying, "You libs, I'm going to own you tomorrow and prove that I was not lip syncing." And then he puts out a video that says, "We recorded it earlier and they didn't get it to sync up with my lips."
Like, okay, Millie.
That's lip syncing. What are you fucking talking? His evidence was that he was lip syncing, which, whatever. But
yeah,
it was just awful.
Do a better job of hiding it. That's all.
Yeah, and don't lie to your audience's faces that it wasn't a lip synced performance. That's lip syncing.
Nothing matters anymore. There's no consequence for anything. Like, you can say whatever you want to do. You can, truly, the thing of I could shoot a person on Fifth Avenue and they would still love me. Like, that is all of them. Nobody has to suffer a single consequence for anything. There is no shame. No shame. This was another. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is where they lost Nick Fuentes, though. This whole event, they lost Nick Fuentes, the racist
what happened?
Nazi. He mocked this whole thing. He's like, we are now we the Nick Fuenteses of the world and his people, the Groypers, they were the trolls, and now they're getting trolled because they're following this uncool guy. So right off the bat, his whole audience, your hero is Kid Rock. What is this?
Yeah.
This is silly. Kids don't know who this guy is. This is an 80s flashback thing that they don't relate to at all.
Yeah.
Right. And then you need your safe space. He went off on safe space forever.
Interesting.
Here we are. We have to have an alternate thing. We can't handle the brown guy.
Yeah.
And he's saying that. He's a fucking Nazi. Yes. Yes, and he's like, what are we at? He's like, I might need to flip sides because this is we
God.
look embarrassing. We're getting mocked. You know?
My umbrella does not, or tent, or whatever the fuck, does not include.
No, he's
him.
not.
I do not give a shit. Goodbye.
He's not welcome. I'm not going to suddenly start rebuilding his character somehow. But you lost him, and it's the divide in MAGA somewhat of like he can see how ridiculous this is. His audience is post MAGA. He doesn't care. He says whatever he wants. He's just a little Nazi little fuck.
Yeah.
But you're losing them. You're losing the white Christians. The evangelicals are starting to dip away a little bit.
Losing the Catholics. They just removed that lady. We didn't even show it. We're not even going to get to it today. But the lady who's like, Catholics don't believe in Zionism. Are we all anti-Semitic? Like, they removed her from the inter-religious whatever. Yeah.
So none of this is playing well. And they're all celebrating this halftime thing as a win. Like it was the most viewed thing. If that was the most viewed thing like ever, like it was embarrassing. So like all of you pretending that you got huge numbers on that thing, you got huge numbers on a thing that made you look very uncool. It was poorly organized. It's hosted by Charlie Kirk's wife. Here she is again, having a big old party.
I mean, listen, we all grieve in our own different ways, but I don't think anybody has ever grieved the way she's grieving, if that's what she wants to term it. It is insane. All she talks about is how much money they're just like, you know, hoovering in off of her husband's murder. It's insane. The other thing that happened, I don't know this guy. I think he's I don't know, Twitch streamer. I don't know. I'm old. I know, but XQC, he was watching as another guy, Lee Bryce, who was like basically like what the joke epitome of country music is, where you just like name nouns like you're in Mad Libs or something. Right. We actually I know.
Fireworks
and the cheer, the Tammy Faye. But he noticed that the live chat was frozen, even though all the likes were going on. So this is like just a short clip, but he's like, what's going on here? I keep typing in hello and I can't get in there. And yet like everything else is moving. It sort of feels like, I mean, he didn't say the Truman Show, but it does feel like we're just living the Truman Show.
Yo, is the chat frozen? I don't get it. Live chat, it's not loading yet.
I just want to catch my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer.
Guys,
not wake up to all this
hello?
Stuff I don't want to hear.
Hello?
Same kind of gun I hunt with, just killed another man.
I just want to drink my beer, drive my truck. I just killed another man. I'm gonna make a sandwich, kiss my face. Like, what is happening?
I love that he said that. Gezen said that because Gezen, I keep forgetting. Because I watched almost all of his halftime thing because it was just like I love that shit. It's hilarious to me. It all did feel like an SNL stunt.
Oh my god, yeah.
Produced by them as like this is our alternative. Like this is your alternative. This joke of a wow. But yeah, he catch my fish was the real thing, but it sounded like kiss my fish.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I just murdered a guy. Like what? What? Yeah, I'm country. I just murdered a guy or killed a guy in my kitchen. Whatever that. Like what? They're just. Oh my god.
And Kid Rock is singing lyrics about Christianity when he's got lyrics that he sang
for a child's movie about statutory. No, what it wasn't. He didn't call it.
I'm all for statutory rape. Well, yeah, but
it's like underage. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was the two competing halftime shows. One was filled with love and cultural references and inclusion and all that stuff, and the other one was whatever all that was. But the other part that I thought was really sad was all of the commercials, apart from the Lay's potato chips, were AI surveillance and Ozempic. Oh, and betting. That was it. Those were like, that's it. Right? Just feels like,
no, it's who's bought our government. It's always medical ads. It's always, you can't watch CNN now. You can't watch. That's it. That's all I have to say. You can't watch CNN now.
I pulled the plug. I don't get it. Yeah.
But every commercial break is an ad for one of those guys from the Shark Tank's private jet company.
Oh, yeah.
And there's who's the Denver Broncos ex-quarterback? Elway saving this kid. This poor kid can't make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, he's on the runway. Oh, something with their plane. We can't make it to the Super Bowl. And this guy comes up, John Elway comes up and says, "Hey, do you have this private jet service? We can take you on ours. Come on, kid." Like, who is that appealing to? So even the commercials are now down to the rich fucks. Like, it's not, we are so unimportant to these people at this point. They're speaking over our heads, beyond us.
Yeah. It's crypto, private jets, Kalshi. I mean, it's really, yeah. Okay. So the one that got a lot of attention, which I'm glad, I'm actually really, I have to say, it is as sad as I am about the state of our country and the world. Americans are not they are not in favor of our forever wars, and especially not our genocide. They are not in favor of the takeover of AI and all of these data centers. And actually more and more of them are facing not being able to start their construction in places where the towns have voted against them. Now, I'm sure that will be overridden, but listen, we've talked about this forever. In 2019 or 2020, Bernie got a standing ovation at a Fox town hall for talking about his economic policies. Fox town hall. Yes. The country is not as right-wing as the people who run it. So that is really heartwarming and comforting, and it gives me a kernel of hope,
And also just, even if they are, even the folks that are right-wing on this message, Bernie showed that if you talk to them for a little bit, you can have a conversation and they can agree with you on policies.
Right.
Like it doesn't mean you're going to make them Democrats. Who fucking cares? It's beyond that. He showed that, yeah, you want healthcare on the right. We want healthcare.
Right.
Healthcare is fucked. We agree. Check the box. Yeah. So next thing is, what do we do policy wise?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So the ad that a lot of people are talking about, just in case anybody hasn't seen it, is called Search Party. So this is the ad.
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now. Join the neighborhood at ring.com.
What? It does what? And that's the default mode. It's going to search everywhere. So if you have a Ring camera, you are automatically part of a nationalized surveillance state.
Yeah. And obviously this tech is being used by ICE to track people, and permissions are not a guarantee. That's all irrelevant. The courts will sort that out later. You can deny, you can check the box that says no, but even in the recent search with the
Nancy Guthrie. Yeah.
Nancy Guthrie. So she had her stuff not saved. So her settings were don't save it.
Locally, she wasn't even a subscriber.
Didn't subscribe.
Yeah.
And they managed to find the information. They managed to find it. So they got her footage, even though she literally didn't subscribe, which means she couldn't have opted out. And
also the kidnapper disabled it.
Yeah.
And they still got it through a back end system, is what the FBI is saying.
Yeah. And look, just go back to his original claim even on the commercial. He's like, since Ring got installed, a dog a day has been recovered. not by Ring. He doesn't say Ring even found the dog. So that's just one dog a day gets recovered.
Yeah.
That's missing.
Like down the block that your neighbor Joe
didn't say we
found.
did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, when people talk to Alexa or Siri, well, what that means is that your phone's always listening to you, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't hear you say, "Hey Siri" or "Alexa." How would it hear that? Even it's in sleep mode, it's not whatever. If it's not always listening, it's always listening. It's always recording.
Everything you say is going somewhere.
Yes.
For some system to suddenly you're like, well, we have policing on the system to where it only recognizes this one phrase and everything else just goes away. But no, disable, throw your Alexa into the burn it on
smart
TV
home stuff.
Like, pretend you're Kid Rock and burn your 12-pack of Bud Light because they had a trans person in a commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
But do it with Ring.
And Nest and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is a response. It did not show during the Super Bowl, but it's very clever. It is a camera that has its own its own memory card.
SD card.
Yeah, so it's not going up to a cloud. I mean, that's the thing is like as much as possible, don't use cloud. Anything that is constantly beaming up to satellites. So here is their search party.
This is Milo. Pets are family, but every year 10 million of them go missing. And the ways we look for them haven't changed in years. Except for all of these. But what if we could make finding one lost dog require the computational power of a small, dictator-led nation state? Search Party from Ring uses AI to search through our tens of millions of cameras. We could find literally anyone, but we only use this technology to find lost dogs. Recently, we announced a partnership with over 5,000 law enforcement agencies, but we won't let them use this feature. This feature is just for dogs. Guess what? We've automatically opted your cameras in. Who has time to read settings? Not you. You're too busy being a hero, whether you know it or not. And the best part, it's free for everyone. We're just doing this out of the goodness of our hearts. Customers are loving Search Party, and so will you. Don't these nice images of kids reuniting with their lost dogs feel good? Look at this one. Doesn't that make you feel warm and fuzzy? There's absolutely no reason to go to wise.com and buy a camera with an SD card, because if you own all your own footage, you won't be able to help people find lost puppies. I'd tell you to join the neighborhood, but you're already in it. Search Party, way better than Wisecam, and definitely only for dogs.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love it. I was really impressed that they had something like that, and that that they are aware that people are not desiring this on any level.
Well, and I just love that. Look, they spent all this money on this Ring commercial, and it's all backfiring on them.
Yeah.
Like people are becoming aware of how fucking bad Ring is. And the surveillance state, like people are tuning in for the first time. What do you mean? Like,
it's going to activate the whole neighborhood and everybody's, wait, what? Honestly, the Savannah Guthrie thing, like with her mom, I mean, all of it's horrible. It's so sad. So I hope, there's blood. I think she's in her 80s. She's kidnapped. I have not done enough research to even sort of know, but the fact that they can say that the sheriff's department's been working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any images or video footage from Nancy Guthrie's home that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, like the camera was disabled by the kidnapper and she didn't even subscribe to the service, including the removal of recording devices. The video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. They have data on all of us all the time. That's what they're saying.
The translation to what is happening with her case is that they are always recording and monitoring this stuff.
Yep.
And because she's so high profile and CNN's involved and the media's involved, they're just like, yeah, we're going to find a reason to find it. But we have it is what they're telling. That's what that translates to directly is like, she literally didn't pay for that service. That service shouldn't be on her camera and you got it.
Yep.
And so they're going to use this as a good thing if they find her. Like it's going to be everybody turn on Ring Ring saved the day, you know.
The use of like the safety theater, like obviously it's horrible. I don't want anybody to get kidnapped. I don't want dogs to go missing. I don't want people to die. I don't want, terrorists invading the Super Bowl. But to like, what do we give up for that? Like, what are we giving up? Because first of all, there's never any talk about what would actually prevent any of this. Like, don't do a genocide. Don't destroy other countries. Don't cage more people in our country than in any other country in the world. Don't, like defund education and put crack in inner city areas to up the conviction rate so that my private prison friends can reap the benefits of the way we treat our humans. Like, there's so many different steps that would actually be proven, that are proven to work, that would minimize the threats. And they don't do any of that, which we know, but they're going to do this like with the cops and everywhere. And it's the safest Super Bowl ever. And nobody's going to come here and people like, they make people scared. It's all like all the talk on crime. Crime is at its lowest in like 50 years, violent crime at its lowest in 50 years. You would not know that. And people don't think that because of the way the media focuses on these kinds of crimes, not white collar crimes ever.
Well, and that's the point of Samantha Guthrie's mom's her case being on TV. Like, honestly, it's like 50% of CNN now.
Yeah.
Like they even interrupted the hearings today to cover the mom stuff. So there's a lot of stuff they didn't show while they were covering breaking news. They found a glove in a I mean, they literally found a glove.
Right.
Like,
so they broke away from the Bondi hearing.
They broke away from Bondi because they found a glove, a black glove in a field like 2 miles from her house. Like, if you're a criminal, you're not going to take your glove off and throw it out the window near the crime scene. Like,
you don't put it in Luigi's backpack.
Yeah, you're just not doing that. So the glove is going to lead to nothing. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it does. Who cares? But to interrupt like the importance of the hearing for that and keep cover, and then as soon as the hearing is over, it's all fucking Samantha Guthrie's mom. While we literally have 1,200 people missing from an ICE detention center, and that was not a continuing story.
Yeah.
Stay on that story until we get something new like that. This is the pressure moment.
Yeah. Or how about just talk about every single one of the 68,000 U.S. citizens who die every year because they're denied healthcare, or the $50 billion of wage theft every year, or the 10 million people who die of air pollution worldwide because of your billionaire CEO pals. I mean, like, one person's life is a universe. I believe that. But like, while you're focused on Savannah Guthrie's mom, which like, I'm so sorry, and I hope she's found, and I have a lot of like sympathy. It's horrific. But every day since the ceasefire, dozens of Palestinians are mutilated and slaughtered. So
yeah, no, they have covered Samantha Guthrie's mom,
Savannah,
who is not even, well, I don't care. I literally
Ghislaine and Barry White.
Ghislaine Maxwell's CNN host. Anyway, they've covered her story more than dead journalists in Gaza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Journalists, their peers, their literal peers in Gaza. Like by like 800 hours probably by now.
Yep.
More coverage of her mom.
We have a couple more super chats that we're going to get to. 1 second. Let's see. Citizen Vendejo, thank you for the 50 Mexican pesos. Jen, Lila, Pat, I encourage you to drop a segment on how Epstein, Mossad engineered the culture wars to divide Americans and keep subsidies flowing. We briefly talked about it. We definitely need to do a deep dive, but that he was meeting with the 4chan, the founder of 4chan, was it Jonathan Poole or something? We did talk about that, and that she was doing the sort of lib lefty version on Reddit. And yeah, they were amplifying that. Chaos is the friend of capitalists. They exploit it.
And the Steve Bannon Epstein connection, you really got to go there because like Epstein, Bannon was creating a documentary to rebuild Epstein's character. So if that doesn't show you the connection to power that Bannon has, who also created Trump as a political figure, like it runs deep. Like, how are you going to try to rebuild that guy's character? Why would you do that?
And the connection, I mean, this is like, and so this is where we start like spiraling. It's like, and the connection between white supremacists and Jewish supremacists and Zionism, like, because like when I was younger, like most Jews I knew were anti-Republican, and every once in a while there would be somebody who we found revolting who said, well, I voted for Reagan because of Israel, which was gross, right? But like, but now what we're really understanding is that Zionism, white supremacists love Zionism. They want to follow that model. Like that is the model for how to ethnically cleanse all the undesirables and get away with it. So I agree with you. We need to do a deep dive. We do. And thank you for your super chat.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, because Bannon is the culture war hero. Like he is, that's his claim to fame, is amplifying the culture war.
Absolutely.
Roadmap.
Thank you, M. Sparks. I think we did thank you already, but I clicked on you again by accident. Thank you. Cheers. And 2 Fs. No words for properly describing the Epstein class depravity. And yes, Lila's right. Revolted. Love you too, gorgeous host. Thanks. Thanks 2 Fs. Sorry, it took me a really long time to read that with my third glass of wine and my smudged readers. Thank you. And Justin, the cloud is just someone else's computer. I mean, God, we're all, not we all, because I know we talk about it, but like, truly, we all, I was like, oh, it's so convenient. It's all in the cloud. So when I get a new phone, I just press a button and it all pops in there. I don't need to do a hard transfer. It just like comes down from the cloud. Isn't that great? It's like, we just handed over all of our data, our kids, our friends, our vacations, our work, our weddings we went to, funerals we went to, like we just handed it over. We handed it over. Cheers and thank you.
Fucked. And somebody said, where's Beautiful Cat? I'm gonna get some treats in a second just because you brought that up, and we'll see if we can coax her on screen.
I think that
for
sounds
for funsies.
Good.
Should we spin the wheel and resume?
Yeah. Yeah. Are we getting well, you can check that after.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, all right. One second. Close and spin.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my goodness. That keeps happening. Okay.
Professional. Okay. Oh, there's the cat.
Joe Pesci.
It's chilling on the couch. Rare.
Don't let her pee.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh, do we have more music?
Of course we do.
Of course we do. I hope it was wrapped properly, Pat.
We don't. So we're just gonna
more
go
music?
for pups. We did all this for nothing. We're just gonna go for pups because
we just
people
like
have.
it. Well, I poured
pups.
2 more cups into my 2 more glasses of wine.
Let's go with cats and horses. Why not?
Don't bite his tail.
Okay, Suede, too much. Hey, too much.
She's just having too much fun.
Yeah, look at her.
Kitty likes it.
Is that your friend?
Play with her, Misty. There you go.
I think I think it's funny that you're so overserved that you forget that we showed that on Thursday.
We showed that?
I liked it.
What? I can't show it. I'm not overserved. I trust that you are more responsible than me, and you would have deleted it.
I know it's my fault. I totally that is my fault. That is my fault.
Wait, but your dog came. Your dog is right there.
She did. Now she left. She does. Yeah. She
I'm
came
trying
in
to lure Strike. Let's see. Strike.
Lucky.
Oh. Come here. Come on up.
Okay. Let's I mean, we could do another fun thing, or we could tackle a quick, so tomorrow night, we're really excited. We have Oliver Larkin coming on. He is running as a Democratic Socialist in Florida's 23rd district, which I feel like is a really great sort of test case for, a deep red state, and what somebody who is outspoken on policies that we agree with, how he does in a place where the Democratic establishment is kind of written off. So I'm really excited for that. And, we have a bunch of Democratic stuff that we can tackle then if we want to just wrap up a little bit on Trump and his gross posse before we head out. Should we?
Yeah, that sounds good. We're actually at our 2.5 hour moment.
It's a lot, right? It's a lot.
I mean, the rest of the people watching will just be watching me feed Strike trees.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to run through this really quickly. I'm sure everybody saw it, but I just can't, I shouldn't say I can't believe, I know, but it is shocking over and over that this is the person who is leading our country.
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ES&S machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
What?
So he's showing this crazy election conspiracy that Trump agrees with, and he thinks it shows that it was stolen from him because mail-in ballots were still counted, and because he tells his followers don't mail in ballots because that's cheating. Mail-in ballots have heavily typically favored Democrats. So that's that part of it that he loves, because he's probably going to get Maduro to say that Venezuela helped hack the election, something crazy, whatever, anyway, to get him out of jail, but then tags into it at the end, or I guess he retweeted it, but saying it was from the Lion King, but I don't think there were gorillas in the Lion King. I mean, it's just every part of it is awful and depressing, and nobody is stopping it. It's gross. And even right-wing people, they even, Tim Scott who spoke out against it. But Republicans are even disgusted. They like their racism, just like Democrats, to be a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it's
classy
just too open
on the outside.
It's just too open. That's the whole thing. It's like we can't pretend, you know, and that on a lesser scale, the same thing happened with the Super Bowl party. Like some Republicans were like, we look like we hate Mexicans, and Trump was just making inroads with the Hispanic voters, you know, and then you're ruining that, you know, and then it's just it's too in their face. Like they don't want to be a part of the disgusting face of racism. They want to pretend they're not. They just want America. So like when you make black people apes, it's too obvious to people that aren't as dumb as his core MAGA folks.
Yeah. So that's one. Then here they've got convicted rapist Mike Tyson is now part of MAHA.
We're here today with the most fierce ring fighter in human history, Iron Mike Tyson.
Iron Mike Tyson.
Eat real food or else.
Okay.
I feel like people are so duped by RFK. Like the people that bought his shtick. Yes, eat whole food. Yes. Okay. We can agree with that. Let's promote more whole food. But that's not his message. His message is deeper than that. It's that vaccines are bullshit.
Yep.
He has killed so many people because of his anti-measles vaccine stuff. Yep. Measles is coming back. We literally wiped it off the planet. I mean, not the planet, but like the US declared it a non-virus or whatever in the US. Like basically if you have a 95% vaccination rate, it doesn't exist.
Right.
Once you drop below 95%, even to 90%, it's so contagious that then becomes on a population level. If you're below 90%, it takes off again.
And it's running through these
that.
detention.
And some communities are at 20% vaccination rates now. To measles.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying. The other thing, you know, this was such a weird week. Like, found myself defending a little bit, not really, but Caitlin Collins, because Trump was like so disgustingly rude and abrasive to her, right? Then also, there were a couple other people. Oh, Don Lemon, also the Obamas because of the, you know, horrific racism. This is one, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but so fascist Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy, who speaks obviously Italian, but also English beautifully. She speaks several languages, has JD Vance and Rubio there, I think because of the beginning of the Olympics, it was either before or after he was booed by the crowd. He and Rubio sit down to have their meeting with Giorgia Meloni. JD Vance had already been kind of dragged over the coals and mocked by Italian media for his like 40-car caravan that, you know, is shuttling him from one building to another and all of the security detail. And, you know, Giorgia Meloni like walked a block with her 5 guards around her. So like there was already this, like, here she is, by the way, fascist. I know it. I am not really defending her, but you know, just walking down the street and he's got like all of his black SUVs all over the place and the red lights whirling. So they sit down and this is how the meeting starts.
Dunque do il benvenuto al vicepresidente degli Stati Uniti d'America JD Vance, al segretario di Stato Marco Rubio, che sono qui ovviamente per la cerimonia inaugurale delle Olimpiadi, ma è anche un'occasione ovviamente per confrontarci sulle nostre questioni bilaterali. Italia e Stati Uniti intrattengono rapporti molto significativi da sempre e insomma stiamo lavorando su molte questioni bilaterali, ovviamente di rafforzamento della nostra cooperazione, ma anche sui tanti dossier internazionali che sono aperti. E dicevo col vicepresidente che ci siamo incontrati l'ultima volta a Roma in occasione della inaugurazione del nuovo papato, del papato di Papa Leone, e oggi ci rincontriamo in occasione della cerimonia inaugurale.
Okay, so it goes on for 3 minutes. First of all, close your legs, JD. Like, just don't sit like that, like a pig with your gut over your belt and your legs spread like that. Like, have a little bit of dignity, right? But they didn't bring translators because they know she speaks English. And JD Vance says to her, do you want to say a few words first? Thinking he's being so chivalrous. And she speaks in Italian while they sit there like doofuses, because of course they don't speak any other language. They didn't bring their translator, and she did it on purpose. Obviously, she did that on purpose because there would either be translators or she would speak the language of the dignitaries who are sitting with her. So that was intentional to make them feel small. And as much as I am not a fan of Georgia Maloney's, I am a fan of that moment. I thought
a good
that was
moment.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
It was a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. We didn't even ask at the beginning. Look at you doing advertising.
I'm mixing
for
my
your
beers. Mixing my beers. These are the guys that need to sponsor us, because what a fit.
Punch.
What a fit.
Yeah. Yeah. We get on that, Pat. All right. It's 7:35. We're going out. We love you guys. We're glad to be back. We will be back tomorrow at 6:30. We will have Oliver Larkin for Congress on the show. And then we will also get into more Democratic shenanigans. And do you have anything else to say to end?
Looking forward to tomorrow. Democratic Socialist. We don't like having Democrats on, but he seems like a good one. Democratic Socialist, at least. So
that's right.
Tune in tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's just part of the show, but an important part.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going out on a little boy who is determined to find joy in the midst of a horror show. So cheers to him. Cheers to all of you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Keep punching up.
Bye.
What's up?